Now let's look at another example. And in this example over here, we don't have x. X is missing. We see over here, x is missing. How can we do that? That means x is arbitrary. X can be any value, anything. It's independent of x. So your value of x is independent of x. You can say it's independent of x. So how can we do that? We still follow the old idea over there that we look at profiles and intersections. First of all, z cannot be bigger than 1 and cannot be smaller than 1 because it's a periodic function. Now, if we look at x equal to 0, that's in the y-z plane, right? X is equal to 0. So this is plane over here. Then we have just a cosine curve. Cosine y, this is a cosine curve, right? So what we have over here is something like this. And this is inside the YZ plane. Now, you will see it doesn't really matter. If x is equal to 1, you still have z is equal to cosine y. So what it means is that this curve is moved along x-axis exactly in the same way. So how can we do that? We can draw a few lines like this kind, parallel lines over here to indicate that it slides along the xy plane. Or you can say, draw a little bit more. Like that. Yeah, it's like some kind of construction material maybe you have seen before. Okay, so whenever one variable is missing, usually we have a cylindrical kind of surface. This is a kind of cylindrical object putting sideways. Now let's look at our last example. In this example, we're going to show how to draw so-called level curves. Okay, so so-called level curves. Level curves are the ones we already talked about. That means we let z to be different value of c, very different values of c, and then we draw the curves just in xy plane. So it's like projection. Okay. So for example, over here, if z is equal to 0, then we have x squared plus y squared is equal to 0. This is just one point. That means x, y is equal to 0. So this is what we have. A dot. Okay. And then if z is equal to 1, then we have x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. So this is a circle. And we can actually write down this one over here, z is equal to 1. Now, how about z is equal to 2? But of course, we know 2 is not a perfect square. So let's try z is equal to 4. And then we have x squared plus y squared is equal to 4. And then we have over here, actually 2. And over here. This one over here is z is equal to 4. And keep going, then we have just circles. Okay. And these are called level curves. They are exactly the profiles we get by looking at the intersection of z-planes with the curve, with the sphere, and then project down to the xy plane. And this is y, this is x. Okay. Of course, this is a simple example, and for more complex functions, the level curves are more complex. And there are examples in the textbook you can look at.